I've made a lot of videos on opening traps on this channel. I realize that most of the videos that I've put out are either in response to E4 or in response to E4, E5, or are in response to the Caro-Kann. In other words, I have severely limited you in knowledge that I have given you. And I apologize for that. Thus, I would like to show you a couple traps that you can use against some more niche openings. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now say you're just some unassuming player trying to go for some weird Haxo Gambit and brilliantly sacrifice your bishop on the opponent, right? And instead of playing those moves, your opponent decides he would prefer to play the paired defense. Now, this is much less solid. However, it can be severely annoying. Now, we are going to be covering the trap known as the Biern variation. So, knight c3 is what will generally be considered the best. So, just defending this pawn, all that. g6. And now, after that, we have this, right? Just bishop g5. If he plays here, this is not going to be good for him, because here, e5, takes. Generally, he will take our queen. That is fine. We will take with the rook. It's very much fine. And oftentimes he will go here, trying to win back this pawn. Now we can simply push him away. If he is to take this, no matter. We hop in with knight d5, and it is basically impossible to stop us from winning the rook. Now he may play knight to a6, but we just take that with the bishop, takes, here, and this is actually going to be mate. So what if he doesn't hop in with the knight immediately? What if he doesn't run away with the knight? What if he plays h6? Well, that's fine. We just take, and we take, and now we allow knight d5. It's still knight d5, right? Because even if he does take a rook, it's going to be mate. Mate. So what if your opponent is defensive, but he doesn't play the paired defense? What if he plays the French? Well, there's nothing wrong with that either. Instead, we are going to play c4. We'll take back. He'll take, expecting us to take back and go into something like this. But that's not what we want. We don't want some equal position. You come to this channel because you want to attack, right? And so what I play here is queen to a4 check. And so bishop d7, queen to b3, he'll generally take here. And now this integral move, this critical move, bishop to c4. Now the best move is queen to f6, right? Queen to f6 is the best move, but generally your opponent will not be willing to find that. your opponent will generally not find that. Surprisingly, in about 60% of games, he will play queen to e7, which is a blunder. Because queen takes b7, which will win the rook, generally. But people will often play bishop c6, thinking they can save the rook. Here, you are literally forced to block. And if you thought we would trade queens, no. Instead, we're going to sacrifice the bishop. And now, there are only two moves. If he takes here, we win the queen. And why doesn't he just play king up? It's mate. It's mate. Now, I understand, and this is a bit of a complicated opening, but I highly recommend that you look into it using the computer yourself and study up. Maybe you'll get a few nice games of this. I myself have won 5 live games like this, since it is a relatively new line for me, but people do play this. So please, go forth, conquer.